They are voting right now today, and we're likely going to be making history in this country, as well as what does it mean for all of you right here in this community receiving Social Security and other fixed income benefits administered by the Social Security Administration. We're going to be talking about all that right here in this video, as this is a very pivotal time and a very interesting time because the uncertainty couldn't possibly be higher. And based on some remarks that we just heard out yesterday as well, we're likely going to be making massive history in this country, maybe not in the best way ever. Either way, we're going to talk about all of that here in this video. Now, quick little recap. Right here, right now, as we speak, this is the middle of October, obviously 2025. We are still within a government shutdown. Now, here's what's interesting. Back at the end of September, lawmakers were supposed to come forward and pass either a long-term funding bill to keep the government open for the next year or a short-term funding bill to keep the government open until November 21st, which was the plan. They couldn't get any of it done, so here we are a couple weeks into October and still nothing. We've been shut down for a couple weeks. Well, that's becoming a major problem. Now, lawmakers, as in the Senate specifically, is coming back today, this evening. They're going to be voting again to see if they can reopen the government. I don't really know about that. I have a feeling that it's probably going to fail yet again, and this shutdown is going to continue even longer. Now, here's what's super interesting about this. Just yesterday alone, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, was out indicating we are barreling toward the longest shutdown in the history of this country. Well, here's the interesting part about that. The longest shutdown that we've had in this country, a government shutdown, previously has been 35 days. If we exceed that, that puts us into basically the end of the first week of November by the time that they reopen this thing, if we actually do hit a new record. Well, based on the pace that we're moving right now, there's a high likelihood that we're going to be in the longest shutdown of the government ever in the history of this country. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Should we get a medal for that? Should we get a cookie for that? Or should we get a penalty for that? I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. Drop your comment down below. Let me know. Should we get an award, a letter, a cookie? Should we be getting a trophy? Or should we be getting a penalty for the longest shutdown in the history of this country? Now, obviously, it has not happened yet. We're only 2 weeks in. We still have about 3-ish weeks to go to actually make it a record, but you get my point behind all this, right? Okay, now here's another thing that I want to point out super fast. Okay, we already know tomorrow morning we were supposed to be getting the inflation data for the month of September. I've been talking about this for a while now. We're not getting it, obviously. It's postponed out to the end of next week because of the government shutdown, okay? So we're not getting it tomorrow, but we were supposed to be getting it. Well, we're going to be getting it at the end of next week. But here's the thing. The end of next week, we get the inflation data. It's not going to be good. The week after that, a couple days after that, we're going to be getting the Federal Reserve meeting on interest rate policy. A few days after that, we're going to be getting the October job report. Seems like a lot of very interesting things all coming up in a relatively short amount of time. Makes me think, did Mike Johnson really say something that we might be onto? As in, we're moving toward the longest government shutdown in the history of this country ever? Well, if that's the case, that basically put us into the second week of November if we actually get into the situation of a new record. Well, based on what we've been looking at, and like I've been saying for so long now, well, again, maybe it's just me being a conspiracy theorist right now. I don't know. I'm generally not, but maybe it is. But it seems to me like all of this is on purpose just because they're trying to suppress the data that's coming out because it's actually pretty bad. The economic data that's coming out is pretty bad. Well, if we actually do, move forward into November, well, guess what? Right away in November, we get the October jobs data. Well, guess what? They don't probably want to really release the October jobs data because it's going to be pretty bad, considering all the different things we've known about so far. Number one, we know that the private sector is shedding jobs like crazy. We know that about 4,000 plus federal workers have already been let go from their positions. What about all the federal workers that were offered their long-term retirement or severance packages earlier this year that expired at the end of September? They're all going to be hitting the rolls as well. So this next October job report may actually look pretty bad, okay? So that's going to come out in early November. Makes me think we may actually be moving toward the longest shutdown in the history of this country simply because they don't want to release all this data. They don't want to release it because it's going to be pretty bad. Just like the jobs report that we were supposed to get out a Friday or two ago, when we were supposed to get that, we didn't get it. Now, if they were to release it now, it'd be like, well, it's so delayed at this point, who really cares anymore? That's kind of the whole purpose about it, right? Delay it long enough, by the time it actually gets released, it's like, doesn't matter, has no consequence anymore because it's so delayed. It's kind of diluted and doesn't really matter a whole lot. Does it kind of make sense? Now, here's the thing as well. I know a lot of you here in this community that watch these videos are very concerned about your money, your finances, your benefits, your lifestyle, your Social Security, whatever it happens to be. Let me reassure you just for a minute here. Your benefits are still good, okay? No matter how long this government shutdown lasts, you will continue to get paid on time, no disruption whatsoever, okay? Please don't worry about your benefit. I know I've said that multiple times over the last several weeks. You're good, okay? Don't worry about your benefit. Your benefits administered by Social Security are mandatory spending. They must continue to go out no matter what, no disruption, and that's what will continue to happen regardless of how long this government shutdown continues on. Please don't worry about that whatsoever, okay? I hope that helps to understand that. But anyway, yeah, we could easily get into a record, a historic shutdown in this country that could easily put us into, well, kind of the middle-ish of November at this point, based on what's happening. Now, we've also been hearing that both sides are digging in substantially because they both want something different, and they're not really willing to give in on that. So therefore, because of these reasons, it seems like both sides are unwilling to flex a little bit, so therefore, they're holding steady, they're digging in, and that means a prolonged government shutdown, okay? So, we're in a very uncertain time. I mean, I think we all probably recognize that this whole year has been very uncertain with a lot of different things that are changing, and this year is certainly no exception to the rule. Now, remember this much as well. Tomorrow, Medicare Annual Enrollment opens up. The shutdown will not impact that whatsoever, okay? So if you're one of the 70 million people on Medicare, just make sure to take some action on that. You've heard me talk about that many times before, but it won't be impacted, as in it'll still open up. Medicare Annual Enrollment, it's about a 7-week window, 54 days. It's very, very important this year alone, okay? But anyway, let's continue to watch what happens here. Who knows? But based on what I'm reading on this, based on my speculations on this, I'm just going to throw a flyer out there really quickly. And again, I'm kind of like that little squirrel going out to the end of the branch, and then the branch like sags way down, right? I'll be that squirrel for a second. I'm going to go out to the very end of the branch and make a bold prediction right now. I would not be shocked if we see this government shutdown last until the week of November 9th. In other words, the second week of November. I wouldn't be shocked to see that, simply because that would put us beyond the next job report, which is the October job report. And if we go beyond that, they technically wouldn't need to release it on time, or even they could release it significantly delayed. And again, that'd be basically to the point where it's like, does it really matter anymore? It's so delayed, does it really even matter or have any consequence anymore? Is the kind of the whole purpose behind that. Kind of feel what I'm saying here? Okay, so anyway, very interesting time. And also, I want to point this out as well. I know a lot of you are very concerned about food stamps, EBT, SNAP benefits, things like that, okay? Right now, we're fine for the month of October, but if this government shutdown continues to persist out until the end of October, and maybe like it's going to continue into November, let's come back and revisit this at the end of the month, okay? I know it's very concerning. We're good now. Let's not get too worried about it right now until we get further detail on what lawmakers are doing, if they're actually going to let this thing continue into November, or what happens. But right now, let's not lose any sleep over it. Let's not get too panicked about it yet. But if we move into into November, we may be in a little bit of a precarious situation. But the little bit of a silver lining here is that lawmakers are working on funding to fund the WIC program, Women, Infant, Children program. And my thought would be is that they would have enough of a conscience to say, if we're going to fund this program, we should probably also fund the SNAP benefit program, the food stamp program, to make sure that seniors, people with disabilities, low income, and fixed income people also have their monthly allocations for their food needs as well. I'm just thinking, okay? So anyway, let's not worry about that at the moment. Let's come back and revisit that. But that's just my thought and my theory as of right now. Anyway, just want to give you a quick little update on this. And again, if you're currently one of the 70 million people on Medicare, I know you've heard me say this before, but I partner with Chapter Medicare right here. It's 100% for free to make your life a whole lot easier for Medicare Annual Enrollment. So if you're confused, If you're frustrated, if you don't know what to do with your Medicare plan, if you need help, if you feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what they're for. Within a very short amount of time, within minutes, 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on someone's situation, again, it's different for everybody, within a very short amount of time, they can look through their database of 20,000 plans across the country and narrow it down to find you the best plan for you and your personal situation for the upcoming year. Again, if you're confused, frustrated, overwhelmed, not sure what to do, call them right there, 100% for free. 100% for free. You can see it right there, free Medicare help. But anyway, they've implemented 7 substantial upgrades to help you faster, better, and completely for free right now for annual enrollment that starts tomorrow. Okay? Anyway, if you need any help with your Medicare, make sure to give them a call. Now, a quick little pro tip. If you call them today, they can't technically change your plan, but you could get on the books and have a day and a time set aside to connect with one of the advisors to literally just do bam, bam, there you go, got yourself a plan, okay? You could go through all the details today with them, and then literally once tomorrow starts, annual enrollment opens up, you could literally just jump back on the phone with them and be like, all right, can you sign me up for that? A couple minutes later, you're signed up, you're done. You can rest easy for the rest of the year and know you've got the best plan available for you and what you need for your personal situation. Pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, give them a call today. Otherwise, write that phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot. For annual enrollment, they will be by far your best free resource, your best alibi, your best friend, and thousands of people here in this community have already called them, and a lot of people saving a whole lot of money. You've seen me talk about it. The average savings is $1,100 of average savings, which is absolutely incredible. Anyway, please subscribe if you're new here, 100% free. We've got a lot of things to talk about. Stay tuned. Please subscribe. I'm going to be right here for you by your side every single day, keeping you posted with all the details. A lot of things are changing very soon. Stay tuned. Please share the video, big share button down below. Please share that phone number with anybody you know on Medicare. Please share that phone number. 70 million people out there that need help during Medicare annual enrollment. Please share that with them. And then you get to be the hero. How cool is it to be the hero, right? You get to be the hero. And they will certainly get some help and some guidance from that team right there completely for free. All right, anyway, please enjoy your day. Hope you have a good one, and stay tuned. I'll catch you again later in the next video or the next live stream, and I'll catch you again.